Hey, welcome to evidence-based audio engineering and education. And there's probably another E in there someplace. This is episode number 170, and this is Convergent Evolution. First of all, I got banned from the gear page for a week again. These guys are still weenies over there. You know, it's hard to move forward in the world if you can't even tell the truth. But this time I think they claim it's a provocative post, and the problem is I don't get to see it till a week later when I'm unbanned, and then I get to see what allegedly was provocative. So this was a thread about why there's all these global supply shortages and how long it's taken for anybody to get anything. And I said keep putting all our eggs in Red China's basket and see what we get. Is that provocative? It's the truth. Might be a couple other small factors involved, but having one place make everything for you, that's it's a recipe for disaster. Even for people who hated the last president, I think they all saw like a silver lining was at least some manufacturing might come back to the USA and give us a little bit of security. But he actually made a lot of talk about that and didn't really make it happen. There were some steel jobs or whatever, but here we are. Pretty much everything still made in one or two places, and one of those places is very friendly to us, but we seem to lack the stones to commit to protect their right to exist. But anyway, it's getting a little bit too offshore, but I don't think that's a provocative post if they're asking what's the supply chain problem. But whatever. There's still weenies over there. And how do you move forward? How do you create? How do you measure? How do you do anything if you can't accept reality on reality's terms? That's always a problem, and that's why I'm trying to be as much a free speech zealot as I can. Okay, on to something you guys might actually know. I have, and I said as soon as Floyd Rose makes a 7-string oil slick tremolo, I don't know if you can see this. The color is pretty bad on this. Let's see what I can do here. It's an oil slick Floyd Rose. Came with an oil slick nut. This is a Floyd Pro, so I actually had to route this guitar the second I got it in order to fit this thing in there, but fits now. And now I have a good new router. Problem is, it has one of these screw-on Floyd bars, which I can't stand. Sorry. I think for some people there might be a reason that they like them. Yeah, if you're out there and you like those kind of bars, let me know. But what I'd much rather use is the push-on bar. This thing has all the tension you want. You adjust it with the simple set screw. But they don't make one of these for oil slick. So I'm wondering, can I just take the regular one and shave that little tab off and it'll fit in here? I think I better ask Floyd Rose, but if you guys know, let me know. Because I would much rather have the push-in on that guitar. They just don't have one. So I did order a antique bronze, which is as close to weird as will fit. It's this one in the screenshot right here. It's kind of hard to see, but I've seen them up close. It does look a little too antiqued, but maybe it'll match with the oil slick. I was thinking maybe getting gold, but maybe I'll see about shaving that little piece off. I think they're I got a micrometer. We'll check on that. So yeah, if you know if I can just mod the existing one, please let me know, because I'd very much like a push-in arm on this thing. All right. So I don't know how you guys feel about this, but these are let's see, let me just play one of these videos here. right. I don't really need to play more than that, I don't think. And this is just like anything else where we all said, oh, don't worry, they'll never invent a blah 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 blah. That job's going to be forever. No. I know you think the drummers have dealt with this for decades. Drum machines or programmed drums, piano in a large way, synthesis. MIDI. Well, MIDI lets a lot of music out that wouldn't have happened anyway, which is actually very liberating. But I don't want to get into that. People have accepted programmed drums, even in more organic type of music, for quite a while now. Well, they may not admit it, but their production shows that that's the truth. We've used keyboards and things for bass guitars for a long time, but when it comes to, we can think of some pretty big examples of bands that did just that, and but for a lot of them, you still want a real bass guitar or whatever. This thing, and in fact, pretty much that Ample Bass Lite, the free one, actually was pretty damn good too. But this is kind of taking it to the next level. This sounds pretty good. So this is a bass virtual instrument from IK Multimedia, some of the pioneers of mobile guitar technology for sure. These guys are awesome. They did a lot to help out at the beginning of the Reaper days. Very cool people. We get in arguments from time to time, but they always make neat stuff. They also make oh no, that's TuneTrack. This it's kind of surprising actually. I was thinking that it was TuneTrack that had made this product, but this is IK. They've done a little bit of sampling from time to time, but it sounds pretty damn good. I mean, there's a lot of contact instruments already that are great for bass, so it's no surprise these guys are going to pull this off. But there were a couple different ones for guitar already, and so there's virtual guitar players out there. So I don't know anymore, guys. Like, do we have a future? Gonna be a novelty standing on the side of the road playing these archaic things. It's just nuts, because this is how much we always talk about, how much automation is going to change things and how much automation can do, and artificial intelligence and everything. It's incredible to be alive through this stuff, but don't like they say, don't count your chickens before they hatch or whatever. This is a very ongoing chicken hatching, this technology stuff. What's the guitar one? Guitar. I mean, there's always been a bunch, but there's ones now that are really good. See, virtual guitarist. There's one I'm thinking of. It just came out. Guitar VST Instruments. Watch, it's going to be amps instead. Oh, that's M-Lite. DSK. These are old. There's something new that's supposed to be really good. I forget what it was, but I think Glenn Fricker had one on his show, and it sounded scary good. I'm like, oh no, man, that's it for us, But okay, I don't see it on here. Sorry. Let me go on to the next thing here, which is those. Don't care about that. ESP has some crazy looking designs here. There's like a skull one. It's like 6 strings. They have one that's like a pack of wolves. So it's its exhibition limited series. It's 18 handcrafted, one-of-a-kind guitars, all made in Japan. Like, one-of-a-kind as in they only made one of each one. 3D skeleton, wolves, rainbow fretboard. Ooh, I want to see that one. Let's take a look. See if we can get to their. Wow. There's like an almost oil slick fretboard on one of these guitars. Oh yeah, that's them. The exhibition limited series. I don't know if you saw a picture of I think I had it on Instagram, where there's some of this resin filled guitar stuff. It Looks unbelievable. One of the guys around here did that in Hawaii too. Wow, this is a set of very cool looking guitars. Look like they're bolt-ons, so nice try. Um, these are all bolt-ons. Oh, here's a neck through. Purple resin top with metallic silver burst. Neck through body. Oh, these are awesome looking. Oh, that's a weird one. Yeah, this one has like a rainbow fretboard, which looks just unreal. Anyway, check these out if you get a chance. These were the ESP Exhibition Limited Series for 2022. I guess they showed them at Summer NAMM. And ESP has a Kirk Hammett, like a yellow or blonde one. It's a V shape, 2 humbuckers, no tremolo, and has the Kirk Hammett LTD KH-V. So that's ESP USA custom signature V shape. Yeah, I never understand what the difference between the LTD and the not LTD ones are, because I got an LTD that's just unbelievably good. So I don't know if it's the cheaper one or something. Let's see. You can also get it in black sparkle or red sparkle. It doesn't say what pickups it has. But anyway, it looks cool. If you want a Kirk Hammett guitar, I think it's 24 frets and flat looking neck. It's still an ESP. Even though, yeah, I have one of those baseball bat ESPs too. So. This is cool right here. Sir, I'm not sure how you say it. SUHR Guitars unveils first new Pete Thorne signature in nearly 8 years. This is Pete Thorne. I didn't know this guy was actually that big, but he has a YouTube channel and he teaches a lot of guitar stuff, and I learned a lot off of this guy. I didn't know he had an endorsement and everything. He's just seems like a very cool dude. So that's cool. So that's Pete Thorne. Let's see, 22 frets, that ebony fingerboard. $3,649. Jeez, man. I would buy 3 real guitars for that. I don't know. I still don't know. I always ask it on the show. What makes these vintage shaped guitars so expensive? You know, like, I don't even like them. They don't got enough frets. They got the weird blocky bolt-on thing, so it's hard to get on those upper frets. And I don't know. But then they usually come with crappy tremolos. For $3,000, I'll get 3 ESPs, you know, or 3 Agiles if they're still around. Yeah, forget this. But anyway, for the people who like this kind of stuff, that's good, and you'd be supporting a great cause. This guy is a massive educator. I hope he makes. I'm glad that he's got endorsements and stuff, because that guy's amazing. Give me 1 second. Let me see what's going on. Sorry, this is live stuff. All right, sorry. We have a Hawaiian music legend rehearsing in here right now, and people coming in to try out or to rehearse with them, so it's kind of crazy. Okay, next thing, Jackson. You know, I used to work at a Jackson dealer, and I used to drool over the Jackson catalog since, you know, the late 80s, early 90s. And I just always wanted a Kelly. And so I always look at the Jacksons. And I remember for a little while there, seemed like the company was out of business and just making traditional baseball bat neck guitars and stuff. But looks like they're back now. I almost bought a Jackson instead of this ESP recently. I just it was a 26.5 inch scale length, which is cool, but I already have one of those. I wanted it in 25 and a half. It says there's X series guitars launching a bunch of new models, 8 restyle guitars and 2 new let's see, loaded with purebred Jackson DNA, blah, 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 blah. Rekindling of the glam rock era. Okay, so they got a crackle painted one, which looks a lot like the BC Riches or the old Jacksons. Caution yellow and neon pink. Dinky. $600 of the Floyd Rose. Nice. Bolt on. Graphite reinforcement. What does that mean? Does that mean it doesn't have a truss rod? Yeah, can somebody out there tell me if it says a graphite reinforcement, does it not have a truss rod? I know that some with truss rods still had graphite reinforcements, but let's see. These are all very, very affordable. Some new bases. So yeah, check out Jackson's website. These look cool. It's been a while. Okay, speaking of BC Rich and red crackle paint, right? Looks like it says BC Rich reveals Stranger Things limited edition Hellfire Club edition Warlock. I don't know why this is Stranger Things. It looks like your regular Warlock. Let's see. It's got a logo on the rear control cavity and Hellfire Club neck plate. I don't know. It doesn't sound like very Stranger Thingsy, but I'm sure it's cool. Man, I really missed out on that 7-string Junior V they had a couple years back. That thing was unreal, and it was such a deal, and I didn't buy it when I should have. I'm an idiot. This looks cool, but it's only $4,699. You guys are nuts. Nuts. Just to be one person that owns something. It's kind of like those NFT weirdos, right? Ooh. Sorry. But really, though. Okay. This thing, it's this Ampex thing. See, this had been talked about. I remember people showing this thing. A little cool little toaster-looking thing, but I guess it's a pedal board. And this was... A lot of people were making fun of vaporware, but I think the guy had gotten on and told people, hey, there's some really big extenuating circumstances or something. Anyway, this thing is coming out because it's a blue guitar Ampex. The picture of it doesn't look like the picture of the that they showed before. But either way, it looks cool. It's like almost like these little half rack guitar things in a little pedal board. So let's see what they really call this thing. All the best guitar amps ever made packaged into this one pedal board amp box. 6-foot switches and all controls can be found above, including gain, 3-band EQ, and presence. Amp models available are modern, classic, vintage, and clean. Button for boost, mid boost, mod, reverb, and master. Same tech and nanotubes as their previous products. And fully programmable and recreates classic circuits by using analog circuits paired with the valve-based 100-watt power amp. So how does this work exactly? Is this going to have like motorized knobs or something, or is there digital controlled amplifiers inside here? And I know those were no-nos or whatever, but really, come on, get out of here. I'd like to know actually how this guy works. All controlled by a 16-core processor. unless it's digital effects, I don't realize. I don't know what you'd need such a hardcore core for. Wow, too many rhymes. But looks interesting. Keep an eye on it. This is the Blue Guitar Ampex, uh, AMPX. Okay, and let's see, for you guys living like me, living in Hawaii, here's something interesting. So here's some 2022 Taylor Guitars introduced two new all Koa acoustics to its 700 series lineup. Youch. Um, Select grade Koa wood for a livelier and punchier sound. I doubt it, but whatever. Well, we talk about that way too much. Um, what probably matters is a modified back bracing pattern. So there you go. How much are these things going to cost? And where'd you get this much Koa wood? I think that's what all the Hawaiians want to know. Don't see price. Let's see if you can even buy them yet. Hold on. Oh, here it is, right here. Um, yeah, how do you buy them? Oh, only $3,500. Well, I guess you see, I have a hard time believing that people are starving anywhere when there's this much money around. But who knows? Let's see what else. Okay, so this one, I come hot and cold with Black Star. They do some cool stuff. They do some, I think, questionable stuff. Black Star launches St. James series of lightweight tube amplifiers, featuring onboard load boxes, cab simulation, and hopefully it's not as bad as the cab simulation on the TVP 260 or whatever that piece of is out there. Hopefully there's a better signal path thought about here. But I wonder what they say, the lightest. How light is light? So those transformers are still going to weigh a ton, right? I like that they have speaker simulators on them. I know you guys hate them, but it makes everybody's job so much better. And you know what? The audience is just as happy. Get over it. I know I'm saying that while I've got piles and piles and piles and piles of speaker impulses, right? I should be the last one to talk, but you got to put it in your head. You got to drill into my head. The audience is going to be okay. As long as there's some kind of speaker simulator on there. That sounds for us, not for them. Okay, so TC has a Plethora X3, a downsized version of its feature pack multi effects pedal. Has every tone print effect and a new built-in Unitune tuner. I still don't understand half these new tuners. So what does this have? So I wonder how far, I thought tone print was going to be a dead technology, but apparently it's still going. Okay, here we go. Helix Phaser, Viscous Vibe, Hall of Fame 2 Reverb, nice. Flashback 2 Delay, Hypergravity Compressor, Vortex Flanger, Corona Chorus, and many more. How many of these can you use at once? Should you put 3 in there or something? 8 onboard cabinet simulations, nice. Good job. Good job. And can be added to the end of the signal chain for going straight into the PA system and also audio interfaces. Good job. We're always talking about this. I wonder just how two-path that is. I'll look into this and I'll get back to you on the next time. So let's see. Why are the dates not showing right now? So here's a thread over at Safe Space. Were you disappointed by NAMM this year? It's much smaller than normal. What were your impressions? Look, I'm glad there's anything. And, I don't have to go to NAMM. It's cool. My health, I had a lot of trouble last time. But it's good that anything's happening at all. We got, at the very beginning, you saw what I got banned for. There's not much gear around. And in a lot of places, I know a lot of people made a lot of money during this Backstreet Boys reunion tour thing. But a lot of people are poor. So I'm glad that there's anything going at all at this at these NAMs. Um, so the Noodle said it was okay. We all knew it was going to be smaller. We all know the next Anaheim NAM is in 10 months. We all know the 2024 will be 9 months after that, returning to its customary January Anaheim time spot. Little steps. All of us hoping that more exhibitors will return each of the 3 times. It's okay by me. There's nothing else in history that equates to what we've all been through. Any successful resumption of NAM gives a little bright spot in these crazy times. I think that's exactly it. Returns next April, which is kind of crazy. Worst one in years. I was hoping Akai would be there. And Sound on Sound covered it. Let's see what Sound on Sound said. Heritage. So that's who is Heritage? Is that the Trident guys? Eves, new 88M interface. Austrian Audio had some mics. New Atom speaker for you crazy people. What is the Thunder Core series? Okay. You know me, when it comes to audio interfaces, I'm pretty much RME. RME. Anything under that I get a little bit worried about, but this is something. Digitalaudio.dk. Digital Audio Denmark. Big old converter system. Dante. Let's go to products. You get in. So I'm looking at converters and stuff. I'm trying to figure out how do you get in, or do you get in through this Dante piece? I'm not at all interested in Dante. Yeah, what is this? Are you saying the DAD Thunder Core series? Where's the Thunder Core? Applications. Let's see, audio music production. Preamps. Yeah, I don't know. Well, interesting. I'll look into this and come back on there because I'm always looking at new interfaces, right? That's what we spend a lot of time on. Cloud microphones, bunch of vintagey stuff. Other summing bus module thingamabobber. You know how I feel about these, but you know, if you want one, looks like Dangerous has a new one out. RME's 12 mic we were talking about that has Dante on board. No, thank you. I love RME, but I'm not a big Dante fan. So Lynx is still here, and this is one that they really rivaled RME with some stuff. Like their drivers were unreal. You know, I'm a stickler for these drivers. Let's see what we got here. Links for expansion modules. IO. Not even sure what they make anymore. They used to make an AES 50 or AES 32 interface. Oh, it's just different cards for Aurora. So what's what this is about? So you can change out between preamps and line ins and digital ins and outs and stuff. But you kind of need them all at once, I would think. I don't even know anymore. Yeah, the AES 32 and AES 16, I think, were the interfaces they made. Yeah, here we go. Face. They're PCI cards. Oh well. Anyway, what else do you guys see over here? Yeah. A lot of vintagey stuff. Not super interested. Okay. Okay. And so I've been hearing more and more Atmos, and like every time somebody makes another, what they call in the early days of quantum mechanics or particle physics, they called it like particle soup or alphabet soup or whatever, because every time you turned around, there was another particle being discovered. That's how I feel about a lot of these surround formats. And so Dolby Atmos, I was hearing about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. If it ever makes any significant inroads, maybe we'll start talking about it. But then I heard that some podcast was actually broadcast on Atmos, and I don't know if they mean you need to sit in a surround room or if it has a 2-channel compatible thing. So I'm going to read about this. It's what Wikipedia says, and sorry, I know Wikipedia can be a terrible source, but I'm just going to see what they have if they summed it up for us a little bit. Dolby Atmos is a surround sound technology developed by Dolby. It expands on existing surround sound systems by adding height channels, allowing sounds to be interpreted as 3-dimensional objects. Now, in the wild, I thought that most of the research was that we don't really hear up above and below us and stuff. We just hear forward and left and right. And our forward backward cues have to do with like tone and reverb and things, but I don't think that we hear up and down. I don't even know if we know forward and backward. I don't know. There's my quick experiment. I guess we kind of do, but that's not really how our ears are made, right? So this height is interesting. It may not actually matter, but it does give things a different place to be. So following the release of Atmos for the cinema market, a variety of consumer technologies have been released under the Atmos brand using in-ceiling and up-firing speakers. Okay, but what I want to know is if you just have regular headphones, is there a way that it folds down? Okay, so consumer implementations, there's home theater. At the end of 2014, partners announced that Dolby Atmos would still be coming to home theaters. That's a while ago. So that's like 8 years ago. Apple Music announced the addition of spatial audio with support for Dolby Atmos on May 17th, 2021. Fully supported on Androids with Windows support coming in the future. Yeah, you don't even have Windows support yet. Streaming services like Netflix, Disney Plus, Vudu, Apple TV Plus, and HBO Max. Some of them use Dolby Atmos. Atmos and home theaters are different from cinemas. It says between a limited bandwidth and lack of processing power. I don't know that those are actual restrictions. How much computer could you possibly need for this? I think I saw something that had like 128 tracks, which I think is like it's places you can pan something, but still, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't think you need that much. The substream is an efficient representation of the full original object-based mixed, not a matrix encoded channel, but a spatially encoded digital signal with panning metadata. It can support 24.1.10 channels. What the hell does that mean? Uses a spatially encoded object audio substream to mix the audio presentation to match the installed speakers. Yeah, if you know where these things are already, I would think that anything calculate exactly how to set it up, pretty much the same. There are programs from Dolby that handle 128 objects, including 118 dynamic objects and 10 beds for Mac OS and Windows. Okay, so headphones. This is the one that I was asking, because like, what the hell good does it do unless you have it in your headphones? Dolby Atmos has headphone implementations for the PCs, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X and S, and mobile phones. They work by using audio processing algorithms to convert the Atmos object metadata into binaural 360-degree output using the usual 2 headphone speakers. Okay, so this is back down to your regular stereo headphones. They can do this. Technique is an improvement for previous Dolby. I remember there's some that were pretty crazy already, but so let's see. Did somebody stick this in a game? Because that's what's going to matter, right? They get this into the games, and all of a sudden people are going to want to play it. So that's Atmos. So that was the thing. I want to know, how does it get down there? Here's another one. Dolby Atmos is able to render by converting the channels into a virtual binaural 360-degree output from the headphone speakers. This process builds upon Dolby headphone technology. But I think they were saying that it would work in any old headphones. We'll see. We'll see. This ends up in all the games, then this will matter. Okay. Yeah. Hear a lot of hype about this company. Sorry, audience all the time, but they actually do decent stuff. I'm pretty sure they use the same Vesicon or the Sycon.de, whatever drivers that pretty much everybody else except for RME uses on the USB. But one of the things I was asking the manufacturers for nearly 20 years ago now, and there's been some implementations of this and whatever, and these aren't going to be the best drivers in the world. These aren't going to be your RMEs or your older Mo2s before the USB stuff. But apparently, this is exactly what I had asked for. Onboard interface has 8 onboard mic preamps, probably some DIs, and it's got 2 more ADAT ins and some ADAT outs, and word clock out, so it could be master. And I just said the M word. Sorry, snowflakes. Actual electrical power jack, so it's not using some wall wart. This has a real IEC cord. This looks like the real deal. So 24 channel thing. You can carry it around as an 8 channel when you just need the 8 channels, but come home, plug the ADAT optical inputs back in, and you're set. I hot glue all my ADAT stuff in because I just don't trust that connection, and I have a lot of trouble with them. I would love to see that format go away, but I always talk about just how amazing it is that last time anybody saw an ADAT was like 20 years ago, and yet we're still using those light pipes. It just works. It's just like MIDI. MIDI was not. You think about it. We thought, oh man, ADAT's so new compared to MIDI. ADAT's not that much newer than MIDI. It's like 6 years or something, man. It's crazy when you look back at that time. It was such a bunch of revolutions, but they were very close together. But anyway, so this is from Audience. Hit or miss. A lot of hype. I think a lot of undeserved hype for these guys, but they answer their tech support right away, which is awesome. That's how you do it. It's got 8 mic preamps. Let's look on the front of this thing. Sorry. 2 mic line instrument plugs. So yeah, it's got DIs. Very cool. 8 channels of analog on board. 2 different headphone outputs. These might have some loop back like some of the other Audient devices have. And 2 more for ADAT ins and outs. And this is awesome. Speaking of which, one of my Focusrite Octapre Mark IIs just croaked, and I just ordered a new power supply for it. Hopefully that's the problem. But we talked a lot on this show about these things, but that's the perfect thing to pair up with this, the newer version of that anyway, that has the word clock in and out. You'd be set. You wouldn't need to use any weird clock distribution systems or anything. This thing just acts as master, and you're good. Anyway, that's everything for this week. But if you're in the interface market, this is an exciting time. This looks good. Audient Evo 16, and I've had some not so good things to say about Evo, so coming from me could be cool. But I'll see you guys next week.